everyone, this is Elisa from Anaya's Toy Box Crochet, and I'm here to tell you what I've been up to. Thank you all so much for coming. I really enjoy showing off my makes, and I love that you come and share with me. You can find me on social media at Facebook, Instagram, Ravelry, and Etsy as Anaya's Toy Box. I'm only Anaya's Toy Box Crochet on YouTube just to, distinguish who I am and what I do. So I'm here to show you what I've been up to. What I've been up to. I have started everything. Everything. Oh, by the way, look what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my icebox cardigan. Let me see if I can show it a bit to you. Very close. See? Check it out. It's my icebox cardigan and I am wearing it and I'm loving it. I made this with Trubu. I totally forget what millimeter hook. I think it was a 5.5. Yep, 5.5 millimeter or an eye hook. It took me a long time because of the stitch, the herringbone, the half double herringbone stitch. Took me a really, really long time, but I finished it and I'm wearing it now. So this is my cardi. All right, so enough about last week's makes. Let's talk about this week's makes. This is what I've been making. I don't know, after work, I feel like amigurumi is the most relaxing. So I've been making amigurumi and I've started a bunch of other stuff. But I'm going to show you first this guy. This is Stomps, the baby T-Rex. Or the T-Rex. Yeah, I won this pattern on Instagram when she first... Yeah. I won this pattern on Instagram when she was releasing the pattern. It was like one of those, you tag somebody and I won. I have never won on Instagram before. This is my first pattern I've won on Instagram. And so obviously I had to make him. This is what he looks like. I used Premier Basics Marl in the colorway. Let me open the page. Stop the T-Rex. I used it in the colorway Foliage Marl. And I used yellow. This is lemon yellow for the belly. I changed the pattern slightly because I didn't want to do sewing. So I changed colors to do the belly. And I didn't do, there's some decorations that you do on the feet and then you embroider on the back. I didn't do any of those. I crocheted to relax. And so I was like, I don't want to do embroidery, it's stressful to me. I do it, but it's stressful. So I didn't do it. And I finished him. I showed you to him last week. He was almost done. I just had the tail left last week to crochet and I needed to put him together. So I did that. After that, I decided I'm going to look into, I have a little bag here where I put working yarn. I'm calling it working yarn, but it's really not a lot. Like I have to make really small projects with this yarn to be able to use it up. So I reached in there and I don't remember if I showed this to you last week or not, but I took out this yarn and I made an octo. And I had to change the tentacles a little bit to make sure I had enough. But here's my little octo. I do not like blanket yarn. Just saying, I don't like it. I will be using it because my son loves the toys made out of blanket yarn. I don't like blanket yarn, but I made it. I wanted to finish it. Then I pulled out the blue, which I had more of. So I made this with the right tentacles. And I made another octo. I don't like blanket yarn, so I didn't want to have to, like sewing it on. I do tight stitches, and sewing it on, I lose a lot of fiber. So I didn't want to do something that I'd have to sew too much on. So there we go, octo. I have done it, and I will do it again, but I don't enjoy it. So I was like, I don't want to do something that I'm going to be stressed out for. So this is what I did. And I had enough to make a little monster. This is from Chronically Crocheting. She came out with the little monster pattern, so it also has no sew. So I was like, okay, that's another one where I don't have to worry about sewing with blanket yarn. So I made it. So those are a couple of things that I made out of these don't take too long. They don't take long at all. I made it out of the yarn in my working yarn, but not really, almost scrap yarn. Not really working yarn. After that, I took out, okay, so I have the Sunset Night yarn from Line Brand. And I had 3 skeins, but I used one of them up to make a lovey. And while I was making the lovey, I thought of an idea of, wouldn't it be nice if you'd like work from the outside, get to the inside of one skein, and then work from the inside and get to the outside of one skein, and it makes this really, really nice look, color-wise. So this is kind of color controlled. This is what I made. This is the tomato, sun-dried tomato wrap from Bagaudet, and I do like the way the colors turned out. I chose this pattern because it's lacy, and this is more of a scarf than a wrap because look how thin it is. But I don't regret my choice. I think that anything else would have been a lot thinner and maybe not even made a really, really thin scarf instead of this nice sized scarf. I just wish, you see this dark color, I didn't get it at the end. Like even at the edge, which I haven't weaved in my ends yet, but even at the edge, I'm not at that dark color that I am at the beginning. And that's because I just didn't have enough yarn. You have to do, this is a 3-row repeat, and you have to have all 3 rows. And I did not have enough yarn to do all 3 rows. I had enough for maybe 1, maybe 1.5. And so I decided, okay, I'm ending it like this. It didn't quite reach my vision. And besides buying new yarn and just using the outside color, which I'm not willing to do, there is no other choice. So I just cut my yarn and cut my losses, and this is what I got. I like it. It's a beautiful shawl. It's really worth working on. She does it with fringe. I obviously don't have enough yarn for fringe, and I'm not a fringe person. I was the type of person who, whenever I bought something that had fringe, would be taking it off. So I'm not putting fringe on, but it's beautiful. Check out this shawl. This is from Bagaudet. It's her sun-dried tomato shawl. I will link it down below. So there we are. I made this scarf. I'm calling it a scarf. It's too thin to be a shawl, but I made it, and it's beautiful, and I do like it, and I hope somebody likes it because I already have a scarf, so I won't be using it. It's gorgeous. I like this yarn. This yarn is super soft and fluffy. It's nice, and you don't, when you're crocheting, you do slightly feel the sequence, but not too much. So anyways, I still had leftover of that yarn, and I decided I'm going to do something with it. I'm not going to just leave it lying around forever, because part of me is like, I do want to work on my working yarn and at least not add to my working yarn. So I made this. This is Tiny the Scrappy Cat. I designed Tiny specifically to use up little bits of yarn. So I made one of Tiny, and I made another octo. These are tiny, tiny little toys. This yarn, it says it's a 4-weight. Don't believe them. It's more of a 3-weight. Here. This is 2 strands. Here. See that? That's more of a 3-weight than a 4-weight. Do I have a 4-weight here? Yeah. I hope I'm not pulling out. This is a 4-weight yarn. And this is a 3-weight yarn. Can you see the difference? See how much thinner this is? It's not a 4-weight yarn. And that's why this is so tiny. I have a 4-weight yarn over this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go get it, and I'll show you the difference. Okay. So I'm back. This is Tiny the Scrappy Cat made with 4-weight yarn. This is Amigo XL. And this is Tiny the Scrappy yarn made with 4-weight yarn from Lion Brand Sunset Nights. Can you see the difference? That is not a 4-weight yarn. Just saying. It's not. But anyways, I just thought I'd show you the difference. So I made those 2, and I finished all of those. I mean, this went really, really fast. I mean, I hurt my hands working on this because I was working on it so fast. I don't usually work really fast because I have such tight stitches to get into. But because you're working in a chain 3, you could go in really, really fast and make this up quite quickly. And I did hurt my hand a little bit working on it. I had to rest for an entire night. Well, a night and a work day before crocheting, just because I was crocheting too fast. But after that, I picked up this yarn. Now, I bought this yarn. This is Impeccable. I don't have it with me, but it's Impeccable something. And when I saw it on the computer, because I ordered it from Michaels, it was a purple. Like when I say purple, this looks more like, is that gray or purple? There was no question about it. It was a purple, like a grape purple. a grape colored purple. And so I was like, ooh, I have to get it. And I don't dislike this color, this kind of grayish purple color. I don't dislike it. It's just not what I expected to find. So I was very disappointed with this yarn color. And I've been wondering, what can I do with it? I would have wondered what I could do with the grape one too. But I've been wondering about it. I made it into the basket that I showed you last time. One skein of it, and I still have one skein left. And so I decided, I still have some left. I decided to see how he will look as Bites, how the yarn will look as Bites, and I think it looks pretty cool. So this is Bites, the shark. And this is my pattern. I will link it down below. It's on my Ravelry and Etsy stores. Yeah. So all of these toys that I made are going to be going to Rose from Rose Likes Crochet. Well, maybe not the little ones, because I'm not sure that anyone would appreciate, like, everyone's getting out toys. All these kids are getting toys. And when it comes to their turn, they get this little one. I don't think they'd appreciate it. So I'm thinking of turning these into keychains. So I'm going to put a keychain on it. And I don't know yet what I will do, whether I gift it to somebody or put it on my Etsy store. I'm not sure what I will do with these two, but I'm not going to give these to Wings. This one is going to Wings though, and all the rest of these are going to Wings. All right, so those are my finishes. Now, did I mention that I started everything? I started everything. Everything. I just did. Like, I feel like as soon as I get to the point where I finished all the projects I've been working on for a long time, like this one, I'm like, ooh, and I put everything on my hook. So this is one of my whips. This is a vest. It is one of my makes that I bought a long time ago. One of the patterns that I bought a long time ago and have never made up. So I started making it up. This is one side. I finished this side. It's a vest. It's a paid for pattern, so I'm not going to say too much about it. But I finished this part, cut the yarn, and I have started this part. And then there will be another part here. This is to make a vest. It will be made in one piece. So there will be no sewing for this vest. It is a very nice pattern. It's from Interweave, the pattern. I will probably link it down below, hopefully. I find Interweave's website a little hard to navigate, so hopefully I'll put it down. I am... the pattern writing in Interweave is... it was confusing. I think I'm doing the right thing, and I'm going to continue doing it the way I'm doing it, but I'm not sure I'm doing it right. But that is what it is. So I started that. I also started this. Now this one I'm not working too much on it because it's night and it's black. I do have a light, but I didn't take it out. But I started this. This is a kaleidoscope sweater. So this is what I have so far, which is nothing. I am using yarn from Hobbii. This is a Hobbii pattern, and I'm using yarn from Hobbii, just not the recommended one. I am using the Go Handmade Tencel. And the reason is that anytime I'm ordering yarn from Hobbii, and if it is on sale, I have been picking up this color. And so I had like 3 of these colors already. And so when I chose to make that, I'm like, well, I already have 3 of these colors that I've been collecting. I might as well use these. And I asked her what color she wanted to go with this, and she wanted, I'm making it for my daughter. She wanted the black, so I'm like, okay, I'll pick up the blacks, and I already have this, and we'll work it up to make your sweater. So I bought a bunch of those, and that's all I've done so far. I only sat down with this once. This is what I made. And I was, what was I doing? I think I was, you know, I had a few minutes before starting to make supper, and that's when I did it, and I never picked it up again. But there it is, the kaleidoscope top that I started. Like I said, I started everything. Then I realized I kind of wanted to do amigurumi. No, not this one. I wanted to do amigurumi a bit more. You know why? I was just working on it, and it's not in there right now. And so I started this. This is the boy doll, again, in a pattern that I bought a long time ago and have never made up. So I started working on this. This is what I am working on right now. I'm using Paintbox yarns, Paintbox Cotton Decay. This is Paintbox Cotton Decay in light caramel, and this is a Lamia Cottony, and I had the minis. I apologize if you hear the laundry, it's loud. mini cottony. I have just a little bit left of this yarn, so I'm decided to use that for the underwear. But that's one project which you'll see next week. I also have my hexies that I have been working on, not at work, not on the way to work like I thought I would be because the trains are too stuffed, but mostly when I'm waiting for my daughter to come out of school. I made this much since last time you saw me. Oh no, I lie. I have one more of the green that I didn't take out yet. I have it here, luckily. I needed to get my 5mm hook out of this bag because I only have two and I don't like the prim ones. I don't like the plastic. It slides too slowly. So I took my clover one out from here to work on the next project I'm going to show you. But here's the hexies I've worked on this week. I'm not going to show all of them to you anymore. This is the ones I did this week. Again, this is mostly, you know, when I'm sitting around waiting for my daughter. Some of it was done on the bus. Not too much. Not too much. I'm usually standing on the bus. So yeah, when I'm standing on the bus, I'm holding onto the thing so I don't, you know, fall. The next thing I did that is all tangled everywhere because I pulled it out. You know what? I'm going to pause it while I untangle this. Okay, I'm back. So this is what I have started. This is a hat. It is called the Lincoln Beanie. It was recommended to me by Z. Thank you so much, Z. Yeah, so I started this and it is beautiful pattern. I am wondering if you can see the texture, right? I'm wondering if I chose the right yarn. I chose this yarn. This is Line Brand Mandala Ombre. Yeah, Ombre. It's beautiful. And the colorway is Harmony, and I actually don't know, but I thought I had two of this. I have to look back. It's in my bin, which has like yarn on top of it, so I have to move everything out to get out the second one. But I'm pretty sure I have two of these, and that's why I chose to use this yarn so that I can make a cowl out of this too, so I could have matching cowl. I'm really liking the way this is working out. It looks beautiful. Thank you, Z. Anyways, this is what I made so far. I still have to work on it. I started it yesterday, I believe, yesterday or the day before yesterday, because I'm making everything. You know, I'm just making everything. I'm not looking at, oh, I already have this much whips. I should just stop and finish what I have. Nope, I'm just making everything. Anyways, that is what I've been up to this week. It's quite a lot, isn't it? You would think with my, you know, reduced crochet time. I don't know. I just, these things go quick. The octos go quick. I mean, they're huge because of the yarn I used, but this is how it looks on 4-weight yarn. It's DK. This is how small it is in DK yarn. But that's what I've been up to. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to hear more from me, please subscribe.